After playing Where Winds Meet non-stop for 2 weeks, the Chinese version, of course, I gotta say, I've never seen a game so misunderstood like this one. Even now, I still see people calling it an MMO or a gacha game, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Probably because there's still no deep dive official trailer showing how this game gives you the freedom to build your own combat styles, reshape graphics directly in-game, or level up and upgrade at your own pace, without any grinding or excessive collecting. Where Winds Meet is actually a massive open-world RPG, and not just big in size, but deep in its mechanics, its choices, and the way it lets you live out your own journey in the world of Jianghu. You can literally explore and learn mystical arts on your own. Maybe you master the art of shrinking yourself to sneak into secret places and loot hidden chests. Or if you don't go that route, you might learn remote pickpocketing instead. Join a martial arts school and train under masters, or go rogue, turn invisible, and steal their techniques by watching them fight. There's no preset path, no one forcing you to play a certain way. Your growth depends entirely on how you want to live and survive in Jianghu, a hybrid game where anyone can play solo for free, and those who want to express themselves can spend on cosmetics. And about that gacha thing, yeah, it's there, but it's just cosmetics. That's it. It doesn't affect gameplay. It doesn't make you stronger. It's just a way to look how you want, or maybe show off a little when you're in MMO mode. At its heart, Where Winds Meet is still a story-driven RPG, with quests, choices, and real freedom. And that's the word that defines this game best: freedom. Freedom in how you play, freedom in how you fight, freedom in how you tell your story and live out the dream of a true Wuxia wanderer. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why Where Winds Meet deserves a second look, and why it might just be the most misunderstood open-world RPG of this year. The world is absolutely stunning, full of color, life, and this sense of freedom you don't see often anymore. And what really surprised me is how much control the game gives you over the visuals. If you're the kind of player who loves tweaking graphics mods like me, you're gonna love this. The game literally lets you reshade the visuals inside the settings, not just the usual brightness or contrast stuff. You can fine-tune luminosity, vibrance, saturation, weather, and even the overall color palette. You can even lock your preferred look so it doesn't change with the day-night cycle or weather. It's like the devs just turned photo mode into a built-in graphics mod. And since this is a live service game where traditional modding probably won't be allowed, I really hope more games do this in the future. Now, about the world itself. It's built around freedom. There's no strict leveling system that tells you what to do next. Can't learn a skill right now? No problem. You might find another way to learn it later. Even if you're not into Wuxia, this game still nails what makes open world games fun. Think of it like Elden Ring. You can just turn off all those icons and markers on the map and explore however you want. And exploration actually matters here. You might stumble upon hidden mystic arts, new puzzles, or secret techniques that completely change how you play. Stuff like that makes the game feel so alive. And the world isn't empty either. You don't have to ride your horse for 5 minutes straight just to find something interesting. Step off the main road and you'll bump into collectibles, side quests, random NPCs. There's always something happening. Sometimes I just pick up random insects without knowing what they're for, only to realize later I could trade them to NPCs to boost my internal cultivation. You can really take things at your own pace, explore, fight, learn, or just wander around enjoying the atmosphere. You can even learn martial arts by watching others, literally sneaking in and copying techniques. It's such a cool touch that really captures the spirit of Jianghu. This idea that power, skill, and knowledge are out there for anyone brave enough to chase them. Now, if you're new to Wuxia or the Jianghu world, let me explain a bit. It's a world that exists outside of the Emperor's laws, filled with wandering swordsmen, masters, sects, and outlaws who follow their own code of honor. At its heart, it's about chivalry, loyalty, vengeance, and righteousness. If someone helps you, you repay the favor. If someone wrongs you, you settle the score. It's a world where strength and martial skill define everything: your status, your reputation, even your survival. Some of the strongest figures might be sect leaders, reclusive hermits, beggars, or even a drunken old man selling a scroll of long-lost martial arts just for a few coins to buy more wine. Whether righteous or villainous, anyone with unmatched martial prowess earns respect. Those who achieve mastery live freely, traveling the land without fear of oppression or defeat. But freedom in Jianghu comes at a price. The stronger you become, the more challengers you attract, each seeking to test their skills. Conflict and rivalry are inevitable, yet that's what makes this world feel so alive, a realm of endless adventure, mystical arts, and unending duels. That's the beauty of Jianghu. Anyone can rise to greatness, anyone can fall. It's a world of chaos, freedom, and endless adventure. Dynasties may fall, empires may change, but Jianghu always lives on. And Where Winds Meet captures that perfectly. It's not just another open-world RPG, it's a living, breathing Wuxia world where you write your own legend. Combat abilities are the heart of Wuxia, and Where Winds Meet truly captures that spirit. The game gives you complete freedom to shape your own fighting style, and honestly, it has one of the most approachable leveling systems I've ever seen. I played all the way up to level 50 in the Chinese version without understanding a single word, and still had a blast. Combat in this game revolves around 3 core elements: martial arts, internal arts, and mystic arts. Martial arts are basically your weapon techniques combined with the combat style you choose. There are 7 weapon types, each with 2 martial art styles, except for the sword and the umbrella, which have 3. The basic moves for each weapon are the same, but different styles give you unique art skills that you can mix into your combos. You can learn every martial art style in the game, but only equip 2 at a time. Those art skills can be upgraded either the traditional way, by practicing, or the more Jianghu way, by sneaking into martial arts sects and secretly learning their techniques. A truly cunning touch that fits the world perfectly. Next is internal arts. These work like passive abilities or perks that only activate during combat. Some of them are tied to specific martial arts or weapons, while others can be used no matter what weapon you're holding. They really help shape your fighting identity. And finally, there's mystic arts. Special abilities that work both in combat and exploration. If you've ever watched Wuxia or Kungfu movies, a lot of these will feel familiar and incredibly fun to use. Remember the toad skill or the lion's roar from the landlady from Kung Fu Hustle? Yeah, that kind of over-the-top awesomeness. Mystic arts don't just make fights more exciting, they also help with puzzles and world exploration. You can shrink yourself to sneak into tight spaces, turn invisible to infiltrate enemy camps, freeze enemies with acupuncture strikes, or even use remote pickpocketing to grab items without being caught. It's creative, and it really sells that fantasy of being a true Jianghu wanderer. The best part is how much freedom you have to play your way. I've seen a lot of people online following guide videos that tell them what weapons to use or what builds are best for PvP. Like how new players should pick the umbrella because it can heal teammates, but then they realize they don't actually enjoy the weapon itself. That's the thing. Those guides are made for PvP or MMO playstyles. But if you're here for the story, the world, or just the fun of it, forget the meta. Play how you want. Don't let MMO-style min-maxing or grinding scare you off, because Where Winds Meet is also a deep, story-driven solo RPG. My advice? Approach it like a true traveler of Jianghu. Use the weapon that feels fun, the moves that look cool to you. Enjoy the flow of combat, the rhythm of the fights. You'll find yourself getting stronger naturally, without grinding or farming. That's what amazed me most. This is one of the few games where I actually felt myself growing powerful just by playing, exploring, fighting, learning, not because I was forced to grind materials or chase upgrades. Boss fights can be tough, but they're fair. You can replay them for extra rewards. And if things get too difficult, you can always turn on combat assists, like enabling Q2E counters or auto-blocking. Like I said before, this game is all about freedom of choice, and that philosophy even extends to its combat system. It's Wuxia done right, graceful, expressive, and completely yours. Another exciting feature is the Bounties System. Just like the real men and women of Jianghu, who often live outside the law, the game captures both the good and bad sides of that life. If you commit crimes, even while playing in solo or co-op mode, a bounty will be placed on your head, and other players can invade your world to claim it. In MMO mode, players can even spend in-game currency to put a bounty on someone they don't like. It's wild, but it really makes you feel like you're living in this world. And that's the key to the MMO side of Where Winds Meet. It's not just combat, it's about living your life inside the game. You can relax with side activities like cards, chess, or martial arts exhibitions, or dive into deeper social systems like guilds and factions. Guilds are run entirely by real players. They have management roles, voting systems, and even guild wars. You can choose what kind of member you want to be. Maybe an enforcer who joins PvP fights, or a merchant-type player who buys low and sells high to make profit during turf wars. It's a real Jianghu-style organization, where members act on their own, sometimes with violence, to punish enemies, reward allies, or protect their territory. I'm not sure if all these features will be available at global launch, but if they are, it'll be one of the deepest social systems ever made in an MMO. You can also join martial arts schools, each with its own hierarchy, weekly missions, and promotion system. Failing to contribute gets you demoted, or even kicked out, resetting your progress. Each school specializes in a unique martial art, but if you prefer to live as a rogue, you can skip joining entirely and steal their martial arts techniques instead. The story takes place during the Ten Kingdoms period, right after the fall of the Tang Dynasty, leading up to the rise of the Song Dynasty. At launch, the game will feature 3 major regions: Qinghe, a lush mountainous wilderness; Taifeng, the great city that later becomes the Song capital; and the Hexi Corridor, a vast desert region along the Silk Road. From what I've seen in Chinese gameplay videos, the world is full of lore, legends, and stories that echo the chaos of that historical era. As a wandering protagonist, you can truly choose who you want to become, a hero, an outlaw, or something in between. It honestly bugs me that so many gamers still have the wrong impression of this game. People see the MMO elements and the gacha shop and instantly assume it's pay to win, when in reality, it's just cosmetics. No gameplay advantage whatsoever. I wish the developers had made that clearer as the global release approaches, because the system is actually very balanced. It's all about player choice. Some might think, if it's free to play without monetization pressure, how do they make money? Well, that comes down to the difference between Eastern and Western gaming markets. In the East, free-to-play games usually hook players by letting them fully enjoy the experience first. Over time, people who love the game start spending on cosmetics or outfits, not because they have to, but because they want to. Especially in MMO mode, where you're living among other players, it's natural to want to stand out. I think Where Winds Meet is following that same model, a hybrid game where anyone can play solo for free, and those who want to express themselves can spend on cosmetics. Like, look at this online lobby. Everyone's rocking their fancy paid outfits. And then there's me, the default character. Naturally, I start feeling that little urge to buy something new, right? But since I can't use the Chinese payment system, here I am, just hanging off the back of the boat, quietly logging out like nothing happened. See, that's not forced monetization. That's a psychological tactic. Similar to the upcoming title Ananta, it's designed to keep players engaged with regular content updates, not forced monetization. Hopefully, once the global version launches, the game will clear up these misunderstandings. Or maybe the developers trust that the right audience will naturally find and appreciate it. Either way, I can't wait for release day, to dive deeper into its stories, lore, and especially the rich culture of Wuxia and Jianghu that this game brings back to life.